Welcome to the TTIEPOD and FILDA 2026 here with UK-AO Chambers of Commerce and the UK Embassy for Angola and São Tomé. I keep on saying, I can only say São Tomé in Portuguese, apologies. And as you know, at TTIEPOD, we do not introduce our guests, we get them to introduce themselves. So let's go over and introduce our guest. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Kamal.
Who are you and which organization do you represent?
Great. I am Mavinda. Mavinda.
Mavinda, okay.
Yes. I'm here representing the British Embassy in Luanda.
Mhm.
I work for the embassy for 6 years now.
6.
Yes.
Six.
Yes. I started as a political and economic officer, and now I am the economic and prosperity advisor at the embassy.
What does that entail?
Well, this means that I looked into what's happening into the Angolan economy
Okay.
and how it translates into UK private sector, but
Okay.
also government interests and perspectives,
Okay.
always in a sense that it's a mutual prosperity approach. Yeah,
You prosper, we prosper.
exactly. Win-win.
We win,
Yeah,
win-win.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. And I know before we came on air, you
Yeah.
know, we had a initial discussion and you said you want to take this conversation down a particular route. So let's go.
Oh yes, for sure. As a woman, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And at the embassy, everything we do, we have women and girls empowerment as a kind of CrossFit theme.
Okay.
And I'm very privileged to be in an organization where women are encouraged to strive and to grow and to be empowered.
Okay.
And I'm very passionate about being a woman and about have the possibility or the opportunity to grow as a professional in a world that is mainly dominant by men.
But the population?
It's still the case.
Which is the case. I understand it's dominant by men, but you know, coming to Angola, it was interesting to hear that. I don't know if it's true. I need to look up new population trend.
Yeah.
But in terms of relation of women to men, there's more women or nearly the same amount. So
Yeah,
that's really important.
it's true. In terms of population, women are the majority in the country. However, when we go to economics and finance field and diplomacy, I don't think women are the majority. And it's always important to continue to grow on this diversity because different people, different gender, different cultures, they bring different perspectives and they make things much better and valued and so forth. So yeah, it's interesting to talk
Okay. No,
about it as a woman perspective.
I had a conversation with a lady a few months ago. We were talking about women empowerment and everything, and she was explaining how in the Angolan, I want to say the House of Commons or Parliament, what they have is they're trying to also bring that balance between number of women MPs and number of men MPs, and they're successfully getting there. But as you said, maybe more needs to be done. We need to empower women a lot more. Everyone has a woman in their life one way or another, because we won't be here without that
True.
women,
True.
right? So empowering them is extremely important,
Yeah.
especially for a country like Angola, which is young.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a young nation, and looking at the mistakes that older nations have made, Angola can look at that and say, okay, do you know what? We need to empower women to be part and parcel about what we do. I was talking to a gentleman, I think yesterday, and we're talking, I was like, in Ghana, apparently it's the women that pick the king.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, power is actually with the women. They're the ones that determine. And when we look at our homes, yes, they say, man is the head and all that. But at the end of the day, key decisions at times come from the women. So if we can do that at home, why are we not doing that in politics?
Exactly. I think it has a lot to do with the culture as well. I'm proud of African, I would say, slash Angolan women. I think Angolan women are very powerful, even when we're looking to the most vulnerable families in the country. You have the very famous and powerful women Zungueiras, and many of them are the ones who actually provide for their families. So we have the strength inside of us, and I think it's a matter of really continue to promote that and see that as a value and something that we need to explore, and it needs to be there. While you were talking, I was just thinking about that famous African phrase which says, if you educate a man, you educate an individual, but if you educate a woman, you educate an entire nation.
Exactly.
So it's about bringing this women perspective and things that are usually more sensible to human things, to emotions, to vulnerabilities. And in a country where we have so many vulnerable people and so many challenges, I think we need more women in power, because they will bring all the women heart into everything they're doing.
That's true. That's true. So, moving forward, what is your plan in terms of, okay, you've got economic prosperity, women. What's the future for that mix?
That's a very interesting question. Well, I'm a kind of person that I see myself in a stage where I have achieved a lot. And I feel really, really lucky. I have had great, brilliant opportunities in life. And it comes into what my education background was, the opportunity to be in different cultures, see different things. Coming from a very good family in terms of like having my father, my mother around. So I feel very fortunate about that. And I have achieved a lot in my professional life as well. So I'm starting to be less ambitious about what should I ask more. But yes, there's still a lot to live, and I'm still very young. But one of the things I'm very interested in is to promote more talk in more women talk in the business and finance and slash leadership field. Why? Because what I see working with several men is that men naturally tends to push for one another. You like to talk to one another. You
Okay.
It's just so spontaneous, so natural. And more informal. And sometimes women are more cautious to kind of build that relationship between them. So if we create spaces where women can share their experiences as professionals, as leaders, can support one another, not necessarily against men, but in favor.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
But in favor of their common goals and objectives. I think we can be stronger, and we can achieve great results.
I like that.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing this flourish,
Me too.
you know, in terms of what you're doing. And I'm sure there's going to be events coming up that you're going to be leading and bringing people together to have discussions and see how to push things forward in terms of economy, prosperity, and women, and just combine those three together.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much for having me, Kamal.
The audience out there is out there. The embassy do have people that are pushing for things in a different, I don't want to say perspective, but different light, trying to push women forward in terms of the economy and prosperity. So keep on watching this space. This is just the beginning. I know we're in month 7. We still have 5 months left to the year, and I'm sure there's great things coming out of this. So till next time, I'm your host, KD. Thank you very much.
Thank you.